Tonight, officials across Boone County are boosting their efforts to get ready for a possible case of Ebola.
Today, the Boone County Health Department and the Office of Emergency Management provided new details about extra security efforts going on this week. ABC 17's Lindsay Burning talked about what officials are doing right now to prepare. And Lindsay, they say the process of sharing each other's resources makes it possible to fill in the gaps.
From first responders to law enforcement to schools, just about every public agency and office in Boone County is preparing for a possible encounter with the Ebola virus. Today, a panel including representatives from the University of Missouri Healthcare System, Columbia and Boone County Fire Departments, Campus Police, and Columbia Public Schools talked about their plans. They have been meeting for the past 2 weeks to talk about how they can coordinate their Ebola response plans to flow smoothly with others. Andrea Weiner with the Columbia Boone County Department of Public Health and Human Services described some of the protocols set in place for responding to an Ebola patient.
After crews on the scene identify a person who meets the criteria for being high-risk Ebola, emergency responders would notify MU Healthcare to prepare for their arrival. After drop-off, MU Healthcare would also oversee the disinfection of ambulance crews and their vehicles in a controlled decontamination unit near the hospital. Right
now, the Boone County Office of Emergency Management is checking each agency's supplies to see what is still needed. Martina Pounds says the county should be well stocked for an initial response to the virus, but if an outbreak occurs, more protective personal equipment, or PPE, will need to be ordered for first responders and healthcare workers.
All this PPE is a one-time use, so if it was used one time, then it gets discarded and you have to have a new suit or new mask or that kind of stuff. So we have to be prepared for the case that we have to use it, and then we have to have new stuff.
This week and next, Columbia and Boone County Fire Departments, the Columbia Regional Airport, and the Public Safety Office are training on Ebola-related topics like putting on and taking off the personal protective equipment and decontamination practices. John Metz with the Columbia Fire Department says the protective bodysuits are on the hazardous material trucks, and more supplies have been added to every fire engine.
What we have added to the trucks is an Ebola kit, essentially, that is 2 protective suits, the necessary filter cartridges for our face masks, in addition to the gloves and boots and those things that we already have.
I also talked with Columbia Public Schools today. Officials there say all teachers and staff are trained each year on emergency procedures for a pandemic situation. Now, that may include adding more school nurses if needed, and those practices would take place if an Ebola outbreak were to happen in Boone County.
Lindsay, thank you. The health department is also asking people to avoid spreading rumors. You might have actually seen on social media that an Ebola patient was being transferred to University Hospital in Columbia. The health department says this is false.